But if I were to vote today, I don't think the first thing that would come to my mind is the aspirant female or male.
Yeah.
Is the contestant male or female? No, it's what are they saying in their manifesto.
What do you think will happen? Will the president have a female running mate, in your opinion?
No.
Why?
I feel that's all talk.
Yeah.
I feel it's talk. Because personally, I've not seen maybe there are. I'm not saying there aren't.
I don't think there is.
But I don't think there's a female competent ready
as of now.
I've not seen a female politician that is competent for such a position.
I don't think there is any.
Maybe there is. Let's stop as females. Let's stop putting ourselves in wanting situations and then start crying like we're the victim.
So we were also going to talk about the 2/3 gender rule. Yeah. So this entire story was brought up by the fact that Women's Day was yesterday by the time we're shooting this. So the president made some few remarks, one of them being that he considers and he will consider in future having a female running mate or vice versa, a female president with a male running mate. Mm-hmm. Before we go on to the next, what do you think about that?
I think it's good if you put it that way.
Okay.
That like if I want to run for position, I should have a male running mate. Yeah. That creates equity in terms of, it'll bring, while bringing up the number of female representatives in our government, it won't also bring down the male representatives of our government.
Okay.
But how I have a problem with how they phrase it and what their expectations of the 2/3 gender rule is. Like, as we talked about this before, if they were talking about positions that were for, being picked, it would be easier.
Yeah.
But if it's for an electoral position, it's close to impossible.
So you feel having appointed, if I didn't get you wrong, mm-hmm. having appointed positions for women, it's much better than positions that are more.
No, you are misquoting me.
Okay.
I think you're misquoting me. Yeah. What I mean is, if we were to say such and such positions are up for grabs and they're being appointed by a certain person, it is easier if I give you the mandate to appoint. Let's say there are 10 positions and I give you the mandate to appoint people suitable for the positions.
Yeah.
It is easier to tell you, Xavier, I want 1/3 of the positions to be filled by women and I want the 2/3 to be filled by men. Or I want 2/3 to be filled by women and I want 1/3 to be filled by men, because there's someone doing it. But when we talk about an electoral position, it becomes harder because it's not about your gender. We're looking about what you bring to the table. We're looking at what you offer us as the people of either your country or your county, So in an electoral position, it's very hard to enforce because it's about you and your manifesto and what you have to offer. Yeah. But when you talk about appointments, it's simply making sure that these people that are being appointed are merit-wise, they meet the requirements that have been put in place.
Yeah.
So when it's about a position that is an appointed position, it's easier to enforce it. But when it's an electoral position, it's harder.
But let me take you to this example. So one of the biggest concerns about representation was when, there was this motion to increase the number of black females pilots. Mm-hmm. So currently, there's a lot of white male pilots.
Yeah.
We are not having a lot of problems with white male pilots.
Yeah.
So the entire industry is okay.
Yeah, they don't mind.
They are doing a good job as per now. I don't feel like it's okay to push for a certain gender to be there just because.
Exactly. Do they want to be there?
Representation, or even if they want to, they could follow the due process of becoming.
Let me tell you something I read today.
Yeah.
I read something about the gender and the equality thing. It says that a gender rule recognizes that women and men have different needs.
Okay.
They needs access to and control over resources, and the differences should be addressed in a matter that rectifies the imbalance. So if you give me an example about the pilots, it brings many things into, it brings many things into play. are there females that are interested in becoming pilots? That's one.
Okay.
If the demand is there, if the demand is there, they should be given equal opportunities. A position is advertised, a woman stands just as an equal chance, to vie for the position and get the position if merit-wise they're up to task. But we can't just say we want women. Are they qualified? Do they want the position? There are a lot of things to look at. We should just not say because a position is existent, there needs to be a male version of the...
It's like, this is just non-factual because I don't have the facts there, but I'm quite sure that everywhere in the world, majority of nurses are females. And it's totally okay that majority of them are females because by default, people will go for their...
Back in time, I think it's a more back in time thing because like women were seen as the caregivers. So it was seen as a feminine role. It's the same way there were very few female doctors. But
would you push for more male
if they're up to it?
Simply because not simply because we are limiting, because currently it's just an equal ground. A male or a female
anyone can become a nurse.
Medical school, become a nurse, do the same interview, pass. But do you think it will be fair for them to limit? Because currently there are a lot of females, more than male in medicine school. Do you feel that it will be right for them to be neglected that position,
to limit the females,
just to add more males to that industry? And it's an industry that's okay. So that people are complaining about, don't want
I think it's stupid. We are creating an imbalance that isn't there in that case. Because like if things are running okay, there are also males getting the job, equal chance. It's just that maybe many males don't go to school to study nursing. That's also a factor. How many people enroll? And it's different. If let's say in KMTC today, 50 people were enrolled, 50 males were enrolled for nursing and 50 females were enrolled in nursing. But during absorption, you find that 50 females are absorbed and 20 males are absorbed. That's different. But if they are given equal chance, but it just happens that the people that are females are being enrolled more than me, I don't think it's an issue necessarily. We can just leave it be, because there are also other sectors where males are dominant and females are not. Usually it creates a balance of sorts, because there are places there are more males, there are places there are more females.
Which begs the question, do you think there are just certain jobs? Yes, we are not limiting people to do certain jobs, but do you feel like there are certain jobs that will always be for specific genders? Not that we are saying that they're for specific genders. By default, it's like...
You mean like they are more popular for certain genders than others? Like, for example, air hostesses are more females than males. You see, that's the thing. In that case, I feel... maybe if there's a male who wants to become an air host, that would be different, because he wants to become an air host, but the chance is not there. That's different. But if they're given equal chance, but it just happens that females apply for the job more than the males, and the females are more qualified than the males, it goes without thinking, I'll take the female.
And that's my problem, because they're trying to destroy the entire order of how things are. Because people are comfortable doing what they're doing. No one is complaining. In every industry, no one is complaining that these females are not doing good of a job being flight attendants or whatever they're doing. No one is complaining. They're completely doing a good job, and trying to force it just because you feel like there are more males or females in a specific industry is what I disagree with. Because they're just trying to force it on the basis that there's a lot of this gender on one side and not on the other.
And that goes to show that there are many people who don't know the difference between equality and equity. There are many people who don't know, because equality is availing the same number or an equal amount of resources to different people. But equity is giving more where there's lacking and less where there is plenty, right? So if if there's no problem really, why are we creating problems? In this case, we're just creating problems. Because I don't feel, if, for example, this thing stemmed from about, especially in the political space, where males are more dominant than females. Okay, that started a long time ago because males were allowed, for the longest time, allowed to like participate in political matters and all that. But these days, we also see females, and the females that are good at it they are really good at it, and they're getting the positions, they're getting the jobs, they're getting the spaces to like, do whatever it is they like doing. But we can't just say, irregardless, we don't care if the female is qualified or not. We need more females in this space. All you can do is like make people more aware. Did you know that there are less females in this space? We would like to like teach you, we would like to sensitize you about this job. Females can also do it if you are up to it. It requires this and this, and leave it for the females to choose if they want to do it. So the most you can do is sensitize, but you cannot push it onto people and force things to be a certain way because males are more, females are less, more. It's crazy. It can't.
Why I disagree with it, mostly strongly disagree with it, is because it takes away the ideology of democracy. Because democracy is simply people electing what they want at that moment. If we want male leaders to be dominant in this day and time, yes, let's elect them. If there's a time it will reach our country, we want just purely female leaders, I feel like we should go by what people want at that time. It's not
about even that. I don't think personally, I've never gone, I've been eligible to vote once, and I didn't vote because I was helping with the voting process. But if I were to vote today, I don't think the first thing that would come to my mind is the aspirant female or male. Is the contestant male or female? No, it's what are they saying in their manifesto? Does it benefit me in any way? Does it help people from my place in any way? Those are the things I ask myself. And if the female does not check my boxes, I'll have to go with the male. If the male doesn't check my boxes, I go with the female. You see, and it also just happens that more males are in a that is also it brings another thing, but point is there are more males in the political space. The females these days are given equal footing to be in the political space. It's up to you if you choose. Equal. Yeah, it's even more. In fact, it's more than equal because they are being pushed. There are positions that cannot be filled by males. Apparently, there's a woman rep. There's no male rep, and the female rep doesn't even have what are they doing?
They're doing nothing.
Exactly. So like, let the system be as it is, merit-based. If I like you, if I like what you present, I'll vote for you. If I don't like you, I don't like what you don't represent, I'm sorry.
Because the bad thing about pushing that agenda so much, it takes away the element of competency. So if there's a competent woman who is vying for a position, let's say even for a woman rep position, people will think that this position is handed over to her.
Yeah, they don't think they
we
fight.
We will still relate women leaders as just...
They are handed over
things, not earned things. Because the entire idea of being equal is equal ground.
Yeah, equal ground. If a man can fight for a position, a woman can fight for a position too.
Yeah.
Let's stop behaving like women as this fragile being. They can't defend themselves. They have to be given things. They can't fight for things. We can't fight for things given the platform, given the chance, which we have been given in plenty, because I feel the boy child are even being forgotten. See, there are many drives saying that.
Yeah.
So like, let it be as we are saying it, equal.
Yeah.
Let us leave it at it being equal, where a man can do it, a woman can do it, and may the best person do it.
What do you think will happen? Will the president have a female running mate, in your opinion?
No.
Why?
I feel that's all talk.
Yeah.
I feel it's talk. Because personally, I've not seen maybe there are. I'm not saying there aren't.
I don't think there is.
But I don't think there's a female competent ready. As of now, I've not seen a female politician that is competent for such a position.
I don't think there is any.
Maybe there is. Let's just say that maybe there is, but have you seen them?
In terms of, because politics is all about numbers, let's be honest. A leader that I would try to classify in that position is a leader like Martha Karua. and she does not possess that. She does not possess a lot of numbers. But with time, if we let women leaders be free and have an equal chance with men, we have seen people like, Waigurus, people
Susan
like
Kihika.
they have come along, quite well. So if we leave it open and free, it's easier for them to garner numbers. So it's hard for a woman rep to garner numbers because that position is more of forcefully fixed
for women.
You can't be popular with that position, to be honest. So it's quite easy for them to, just be given, but it will be hard for us having such leaders that are national-wide leaders and are female, simply because it has...
And the other thing about that is it's very difficult. Ask most of these women reps to give you a portfolio of what they've achieved. Most of them have nothing. Some women reps are not even known in their area.
Yeah.
That just goes to show how redundant that position is.
Yeah.
We can do without it.
Yeah.
It's just taking away money from the government coffers, and it's not adding any value to anyone.
Yeah.
I'm not saying all women rep are useless, and I'm not saying all women rep are not doing anything, but most of you are doing nothing.
Most of them are completely not doing anything. Mostly in parliament, you'd rarely see them.
They don't even show up for parliament. I think those are the things now we should start looking at. We stop looking at this gender thing. I have a member of parliament. Does that member of parliament go during the passing of these laws, during the passing of these bills? Are they present in parliament? What are they pushing for? Is it in my interest? I heard my neighbor saying that thing, that he or she doesn't agree with what is being, what does our MP represent? Those are the things we should be concentrating at. Policies being put into place, bills being passed, what's going on in parliament, what are they passing? More than who is more, the male or the female.
If we ever reach that position where we do not vote based on tribe, gender, of course we don't vote based on gender, but if we ever reach that point where we separate all these factors and just select a leader simply because they are competent and not because they are from this tribe
or gender or
which gender. Well, Raila Odinga tried the gender thing last time, but it never worked. So they tried that gender tactic, but it still didn't work.
Let me tell you something that many people who term themselves as feminists don't like to hear, is that even as females are biased to our fellow females. That's the honest truth. I would never vote for someone simply because they're a woman. They have to prove to me why I should vote for them.
I think that's a good thing that we don't elect people.
But most of these people are going around saying, just because you're female and the position has to be filled by a female, I have to vote for this girl. Girl energy, girl power. It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that. Like a leader has to be competent
you have
enough
to
for
prove
them to get
me. It's one vote, but you have to prove to me, okay, he said he'd do this, she said she'd do this. Let me compare. Where does my interest lie? Okay, it lies with the person who happens to be male candidate or person that happens to be female candidate. No one outrightly looks at first what the gender. Female, I don't even want to hear. I doubt many people, at least now in this time, day, age and era, I don't think anyone does that. And if they are, they're very few.
Yeah, they're completely very few. One other thing you've mentioned that I totally don't agree with is the modern day feminists. I feel like feminism as a cause started well at that time.
Very well.
But towards
initially
the end, or currently now, the feminists who are there are not even feminists. They don't stand for feminism ideology, because it's about making these two genders equal.
Yeah, it's about making these two genders equal, not one gender stepping on top of the other gender.
Yeah.
What we are doing is like we're trying to retaliate for what the males have done to us. You are not even alive. Let's start from there.
Yeah.
So like the best you can do is make things good for now.
Yeah.
Stop thinking about during that time women are not allowed to work. You are not there. You are here now where women are allowed to work. Let's deal with this now. Now women are allowed to work. Let's make the environment more conducive for the woman to work. Let's make the environment conducive for the male as well. Because if males are happy and women are happy, it's a better place. But what is a place where women are happy and men are not?
Yeah. I feel like most of the feminists, modern day feminists, are just annoying. they're completely annoying. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. I'd respect a feminist who,
who's honest
against FGM, against all these things that were done on women that's not beneficial at all or were bad, than this modern day.
That takes me back to that and femicide thing.
Yeah.
It's a very good cause.
But
it's a very good cause.
Before you explain it, there's one that happened. Of course, it's not confirmed, but there's a female who died again in
age
an
19.
Airbnb.
It is a very good thing because it happens to be that females are being killed. We don't know really if it's a serial killer. We don't know if it's a car. We don't know what's going on really, but it happens that I don't know if the perpetrators are male. It could be female. We don't know. We don't have the facts as of now. But it was a good cause because it was fighting for women to stop being killed, but it was not done in a good way. Because now I feel the best way to do it is educate females.
Yeah.
Let us not be impressed by small things. Let us, let's talk to our small sisters. Let's talk to our friends to ambie, what you're doing here. It might be good, but just be careful, Let's be honest with ourselves that sometimes we are putting ourselves in these positions, I know some people will say I'm trying to say controversial things, pick me, what, I don't know, people say those things.
Yeah.
But I'm being honest with you guys. While we put ourselves in these situations, I know most of us are hoping, I don't know what we are hoping. I would never put myself in such a situation, but what do you expect? You're eating someone's money. You're getting good things for free.
Yeah.
That person can pay themselves however way they want. You are the two of you in a closed room. That person can do you've put yourself in that situation. That person didn't come for you at home. That person, you went to somewhere with that person that you don't know very well.
Yeah.
So let's stop as females, let's stop putting ourselves in wanting situations and then start crying like we're the victim.
I completely had that conversation with some few friends, of which they termed me as a victim blamer, because I was for, people should do what's right.
Yeah.
And
killing is wrong.
People should do what's right. Killing is completely wrong. I agree to that extent. But also, the females who undergo, whatever happened, they would have, taken care of themselves much better. It will be, a different story from what it is.
And no one wants to have those conversations. We are putting ourselves in danger.
Yeah.
For example, an example I would give is when you walk at 3 a.m. at night.
Yeah.
In a good case scenario, we would say it's safe. The country should be safe. I should walk anytime I want. But what is the reality of the situation? Is that you can't walk anytime you want. The reality of the situation is that there are people who will take advantage of you.
Yeah.
The reality of the situation is that it's not safe. The reality of the situation is that not everyone acts within the boundaries of the law.
Yeah.
So don't put that everyone is as sensible as you. Assume everyone else is mad even.
Yeah.
So that we stop putting ourselves in danger and then crying as the victims. What was a 19-year-old girl doing with a man who is much older in a B&B? That girl needs to be, we need to talk to our small sisters. These things are there. I'd rather even you partake in such activities even for free than being given something in return or because you're putting yourself in danger.
It's like this phrase that people like to use when you're in Kenyan roads mostly. You need to take care of yourself. You can't just drive saying that there are traffic.
Everyone knows
the rules.
Mad.
You just have to take care of yourself. In as much as we don't encourage violence.
Exactly.
But the reality remains that people need to take care of themselves. And it was quite a controversial conversation. Literally, there are people who lost their jobs because of saying words we have just said. Like the Shafiwero.
Yeah, I remember that.
They literally lost jobs because of saying, something the way it is. And
they might not have said it in the right way, but they were saying the right thing. Let us stop putting ourselves. It's like, what example can I give? It's like, okay, let me just give a simple explanation. When you go to a butchery, what do you expect to find? You expect to find meat.
Yeah.
when you go to a market, what do you expect to find? You expect to find fruits, what.
Yeah.
So sometimes we put ourselves in these situations, and then we expect the best possible out. You know, when you go to a butchery, you might find good meat, you might find bad meat. When you go to the market, you might find good vegetables, you might find bad vegetables. When you go to a person's house, the outcome might be good, but it might also be bad.
Yeah.
So that is the reality of the situation, that things don't always go as we'd like them to, but it is the way it is. So deal with the situation as the way it is. Don't start telling people men should stop killing. That's why committee has people kill every day.
And it won't stop.
And it won't stop because you went to the road and said stop femicide. It will continue. So the best thing to do is to educate and sensitize girls to stop putting themselves in these situations.
I feel like people aren't ready for that. People aren't ready for the truth. It's easier to hide behind things that are not realistic, but it's hard to face.
Apparently, that's the theme of today's world, hiding behind unrealistic expectations, like the gender thing. Like, I think we exaggerate everything.
Yeah.
And we have over the roof or expectations about things.
Yeah.
Let's go back to
reality and
how things are.
Yeah, so we are sort of Delulu. This has been an interesting conversation, honestly. We could go on and on, but time factor.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this conversation, but girls, be careful.